What I use Fibonacci for is to determine um, my reversals versus and or my take profit. Okay, so if I move here to the 1 hour time frame here, we got a beautiful sell right there. Now, if you are gonna enter anywhere here, okay, for a sell, and you're looking for structure and saying, okay, so I'm gonna take this next move all the way down to this level here. So for example, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to take my next cell all the way down here. Okay, so what you want to ask yourself is, where am I entering from? So that's the first question that you want to ask yourself. What is my entry point?
Yeah.
Because if you get your entry point, then that will determine your stop loss and
Yeah.
your take profit. Okay, so from the charts, you want to ask yourself, where do I get in from? So if you think that at this level here, because this should be around 38.2, maybe 50%, let's measure that, okay? So I use Fibonacci just to measure how far the retracement is going to go for, usually 38.2, 50%, 61.8, and my take profit should be the next level. So that should be around 38.2, maybe 50, let's see. I place my fibs, from this high, that weekly high to that weekly low. And I want to get this retracement here, right? So for me, my levels are usually 38.2, 50, and 61.8. Now, obviously, if we're looking at waves, it cannot come to 61.8 because this was wave 1, okay? And that was somewhere around wave 2. This is wave 3. This is wave 4. Wave 4 cannot overlap the low of wave 1. We know that, right? So I'm anticipating anywhere around 38.2, 61.8, and 50. Now, in the case of the Great British Pound, dollar, we came so close to 50%. And you see, immediately we got a pull away from that level. Now we're looking at that from a waves perspective. Okay, let me just do this. Then this would have been our wave 1. This would have been our wave 2. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest. Now wave 4 can never overlap the low of wave 1. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after
Basically, the
that, you
last
get
wave cannot override the wave three, wave two.
exactly. So wave 1, you got wave 2. Wave 3 is the longest. Wave 4 cannot override the low of wave 1.
Yeah.
That was previously
Yeah.
completed.
Yeah.
So then we get a continuation lower. Okay, let me just do this here like that. Okay, so then we get wave 5, maybe somewhere there. Okay, doesn't matter if wave 5 is longer than wave 3. The only thing that you should be sure of is that wave 3 is not the shortest. That's all. Okay, so it's never the shortest, but not necessarily the longest. All right, I hope you knew that, Osai, as well. Yeah, not necessarily the longest,
Oh, yes.
but not the shortest. Right, now back to our entries. If I was to enter here for a sell, knowing that this was wave 4, and I could sell all the way down to wave 5 at 0% of my fibs or lower, then where do I enter from is the question. Do I put a pending order somewhere down there? And that's one thing you could do.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have a pending order here so that as price moves to the low, then your order is taken and price continues to the low. So I'd either put a pending order here, or I'd place what I call a reduced risk entry here.
Above
okay?
the first candle.
Yeah, as soon as I see this rejection. So somewhere up here, this is how I enter. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Now I've measured, obviously my reward is somewhere down here, but now my stop loss. Now, where my stop loss will be, to determine that, one is, how much do I have in my account? That's number one question. How much do I have in my account? Number two, how much am I risking? Is it 1% or 2% or 3%? So if you know that it's 1% you're risking, if my risk was 0.02 off of GBP USD, then I know if I lost 10 pips on a 0.02, then I lost $2, give or take, right?
Mhm.
So then I drag my risk level up here to how much I am willing to lose. So if it's 20 pips, so if it's for me, for Ezra, I love it at around 30 to 40 pips. So let's say 30 pips right there, okay? If my risk was now 1% from my $100, say for example, and my risk was 0.01 or 0.02, if I lost 10 pips, if I lost 30 pips here, then I lost $3. If I'm trading on a 0.02, then I lost basically how much here? $6, 6 point something. Okay. If I made, if I made the sell all the way down here, okay, for 148 pips, do the math.